Chantel, and today we will be doing a bedtime book review on All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. And so I read this book with the Black Girl Soft Club here in Charlotte. We kind of did a virtual book club, and we were able to discuss some of the highlights of this story. And so Wanda M. Morris and All Her Little Secrets, this is a thriller, so it is kind of a murder mystery, which I do love. You guys know I love a good murder mystery, and it doubles and talks about social commentary on race, on class, on gender in corporate America. And so I definitely loved that aspect of it, being a corporate girly myself. And so Wanda goes into detail about Ellice's life and her double life, for lack of better terms, as far as where she came from, trying to reconcile where she came from, her history, her background, her race. And by the way, she is African American. And so she's trying to reconcile that alongside herself in corporate America, where she is a lawyer. So she is a corporate lawyer, and she's primarily been in spaces where she is the first and only, and primarily men, of course, and primarily white men in corporate America, especially in law. And so at its center, Ellice, who's this black female attorney, she finds herself in the middle of a workplace conspiracy, right? So number one, she was dating somebody who you shouldn't be dating in the workplace. Let's put that out there. But she was dating her boss, right? It was a secret. He was married, so we have a lot of no-nos already. But she finds herself in the middle of a conspiracy when she goes to work one morning early for a meeting. She's supposed to be meeting with him to discuss some work things, and she finds him in his office dead, shot dead, seemingly a suicide, but it's not. And so she finds herself in the middle of that, and while the novel continues to deliver sharp twists and turns, because let me tell you, at first I thought, it was definitely the people at work, somebody at work did it, and they knew about, her and him. I thought it was the wife for a minute, and then her brother gets tangled up in this somehow. And then we get introduced to Ellice's family and her past, and how this is not the first time that she's been in the middle of a murder. And so definitely it was started to pick up kind of in the middle of the book, as far as us looking at her life, going to boarding school, again, being a first and only, dealing with that, dealing with a mother who is battling addiction. And then, of course, there was some rape involved as well. And so the story is amazing. We get to take a journey with Ellice. We get to take a journey with Vera, who is kind of like her stand-in mom, this lady from the neighborhood, and we learn about her past a little bit and how she is no stranger to murder. And so Morris also touches on classism through Ellice's dual life, right? How the polished corporate professional in the day and the woman who's, working class, roots by night, and then, of course, her navigation between these two worlds. There was even a scene where she went into a boutique. She wasn't your, what I would say, typical African-American corporate girly. Like, she was heavier, she was darker, but she was very successful in the work that she did. She made the money, she lived in the high-rise, she had all of the things on the outside. But to the outside world, and especially to the white world, you will still always just be, and we're not going to say, but you still will just be a black girl in America. And so we do see a scene where she is in the store and about to, spend a bag and get it right back. But she's about to spend a bag on some clothes. She was looking at a dress, and she gets treated horribly by the staff. And of course, she leaves and spends her money elsewhere. But Wanda does a great job of tying in, of course, like classism and sexism and racism, all of the isms, into this book. And so I really enjoyed the read. And then, of course, once we get towards the end a little bit, and so yes, as we get towards the end, we start to see Ellice recognize that she is going to have to face her demons one way or another, right? She is going to have to face them. They have put her in this position to kind of be the face of the law firm, because they were also facing some backlash as far as their hiring, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So she highlights that in corporate America, which of course is definitely a huge conversation that's going on even right now. And so she's having to reconcile, of course, being able to say no, being able to have direction for herself. And the saying no even comes from the demons of her past of being touched at an early age against her will, right? And having to find her voice again. And so she depends heavily upon the family that she's created through her friends and some people at work, a few people at work, to kind of go through and investigate this on her own. And then she realizes, hey, this actually looks like my hands are a little too dirty, and I am going to have to face my demons and go and do this the right way, even if it costs me something at this point. And so I loved how she reconciled, of course, all of the things in her past as far as, racism, growing up in a town, predominantly white town, small town, going to, boarding school and being a first and only. Then, of course, navigating through college life as a Black woman who's smart and who has, worked hard and worked their way into what they have. And then, of course, being in this corporate law setting, working with, the patriarchy. And so I loved how it did come to a close and ended well as far as us finding out who has killed her boss, as well as just the conspiracy, the overall conspiracy of that, which of course we all know it boiled down to money, right? Like any conspiracy, I always say, follow the money. I'm not an investigator or no anything like that, but follow the money. But I really enjoyed this read. I hope you do as well. And again, this was a quick bedtime book review on All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. So be sure to check it out. Leave a comment if you've read it. Let me know if you are going to read it and what you think. And we will see you next time for bedtime book reviews.